everybody, I'm Becky Sue from Baking the Goods, and welcome to episode 2 of Get Your Sheet Together, where we are all about those easy peasy, no fuss, no muss recipes that come together on a single sheet pan and can feed your whole crew. Today we're making one of my favorites. It's apple cider brined chicken with roasted vegetables. So that chicken is super juicy and tender. It really locks in the flavor. You've got all kinds of veggies and herbs happening. It's so yummy. So here is my chicken. It has been brining overnight. You really need at least 4 hours of that marinating brining process so that it can really get into the chicken and infuse it with flavor and juicy goodness. I'll just spare you from looking at this raw chicken and tell you what's in the brine. So it's 1 cup of apple cider vinegar, 2 cups of water, 2 tablespoons of maple syrup, 2 tablespoons of salt, and a tablespoon of fresh ground pepper. Now that my chicken is all brined, I'm just transferring it to a baking sheet lined with paper towels and kind of patting it dry. I have about somewhere between 1.5 and 2 pounds of chicken. It's a mix of thighs and drumsticks. And while my chicken hangs out over here, I'm quickly gonna make an herb rub using parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme, not just because I like the song, but I really like the way these herbs play together. A little salt, pepper, and about a tablespoon each of finely chopped herbs. So now that we have our herb rub all made, we're just gonna put it all over the chicken, probably on both sides. You just kind of want to massage it in so that the chicken really takes on that herby flavor when you bake it. Isn't that pretty? Look at that herb rub. So make sure you save about 1/4 of the herb rub because we're gonna sprinkle that over the vegetables. That's coming up next. And here are our veggies ready to go. So I've got about 1.5 pounds of chopped Yukon Gold potatoes. I like to make them in bite-sized chunks so they bake up really easily. And then over here, these rainbow petite carrots that I halved, about 1 pound. 2 leeks, and I sliced them in half and then sliced each half into these little half moon shapes. See how thin these guys are? They basically just melt away when things bake and they bring so much flavor. Then at the very end, we're gonna toss in some fresh kale. And guess what? The time has come to get our sheet together. So here I have my potatoes, carrots, and leeks. I'm giving them a nice, good glug of olive oil, and then I'm gonna sprinkle on the rest of my herb mix. Once your chicken's been baking about 30-ish minutes and it looks almost ready, pull this guy out, throw on a few handfuls of fresh kale, drizzle on a little olive oil and pop it back in for the last 3 to 5 minutes just to wilt that kale and finish it up. I just pulled this sheet out of the oven and everything's looking really beautiful. The chicken browned up really nicely. The veggies are crisp. That kale just barely wilted. It smells amazing. It's pretty much everything that's great in the world. And that's really it. That's all it takes to make this super simple sheet pan meal, apple cider brine chicken with roasted veggies and herbs. It all bakes on a single sheet, comes together quick, it's juicy, it's flavorful. It's kind of the perfect meal. Thanks for hanging with me today, guys. That was super fun. I hope this inspires you all to get your sheet together. Be sure to tune in next month for the 3rd episode. And if you have questions or want some recipe inspiration or just want to chat about food, hit me up at Baking the Goods.